What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Novichenko Whips YouTube channel. Today we're doing a long-awaited video. As some of you might know, I have this 2013 F10 M5 and I've owned it maybe about a year now, and honestly I've been loving it. It's awesome. Quick history, I think 112,000 miles, clean title. I don't know how many owners, don't really care, but it's tuned. I'll pop the hood for you in a minute. And so I've owned it and I've done practically nothing to it except install some catch cans just to help avoid smoke out the back. Bad thing, it has one leaky turbo. Good thing, I sourced fresh turbos, stock turbos for it. Of all other things that I've sourced of it, I guess I might as well show you. I have a spare DCT for it in case you ever need it, right? A buddy was parting his crashed car out. Anyway, I love it. It has downpipes with the stock exhaust. I have the flaps open all the time. Honestly, sounds great outside, but driving with the windows closed or even open, it's a little bit quiet. You know, it's nice, it's refined, but I want louder. I've always wanted louder, and I've kept researching what to do with the exhaust, and honestly, the best bang for your buck is the Turner Motorsports muffler delete. I honestly didn't pull the trigger on the mufflers because I kept waiting for them to bring back the black tips. I kept seeing cars with black tips and it looked so good. My car has black tips right now and I think they look great, but whatever, maybe I'll get them powder coated. I just ordered what they had. I think with tax, these are like 500 bucks. And so we'll see. I know it's gonna sound beefier. It's probably gonna flow better. And so it's gonna be awesome. Let me pop the hood for you and we're gonna run through it real quick. The leather's smelling good. Haven't been in here in a while. Soft close, fancy. So, ta-da! Again, you may have seen this in my previous videos. So I have the engine cover up there. It's nice and blue. I don't keep the engine cover on my V8 BMWs because it's like a heat blanket, and you kind of don't want to just everything to simmer in there. So it has these cool front mount intakes with the cones in the kidneys. The car, honestly, with the windows open, when you get on it, you get a pretty good induction noise with these. It lacks a little bit of exhaust noise, and that's what we're going to fix today. So again, having owned it, I've done nothing other than some PCV stuff and then adding these catch cans, and it's been great. The catch cans actually stay pretty clear. It's kind of unusual for a turbo car to not collect anything in the catch cans. I don't know, maybe the PCVs are doing what they need to do. Pretty much they should be. I've done oil changes. I've looked into a couple things, you know, here and there, but this is going to be exciting for me. We're going to unbox these and take a look at them. And anyone looking to go with the Turner Motorsports, hopefully the sound comparison stock versus after will be good enough to help you, you know, make a decision. Because when I kept watching YouTube videos, it was difficult. Like, yes, it sounded louder, but what I've done is I had a buddy with the M6 that has muffler deletes, and his sounds so good. I'm like, that's it. Like, you've heard it in person, you know you want it. Let's get a cold start. She's been standing here for days, and we're gonna get a stock cold start and then a bit of driving that I can show you the sounds from the cabin. The F10 M5, I'm telling you, they will grow on you when you own one, for sure. Before I bought one, I was definitely sleeping on it. So here's a exhaust note of it just running with the stock exhaust. I'll paste in a stock cold start as well. So it's nice and like medium OEM plus, nice and quiet. Once it warms up, I'll give you a couple revs as well. But now for the fun part, let's unbox the new Turner muffler deletes. exhaust cutter will look something like this. So you wrap that around the exhaust, tighten it up, and then, you know, circle around it or back and forth several times to get that nice straight cut. That would be super useful. Let me get you a couple revs of the stocky. Hopefully the neighbors won't be too mad. Well, it is 3rd of July. I've heard a bunch of fireworks going off today, so if they are mad at me for my freedoms, too bad. It's just, again, you want more of that deep V8 sound when you're cruising, and all that sound kind of just escapes behind you. You don't hear it in the car. And again, if this was a daily for me, I would probably cool it and not do muffler deletes. For example, this 650 has the M Performance exhaust, similar engine, N63 TU, and so I'm just doing downpipes. Let me show this to you. So similar style downpipes are currently in this car. These are from ARM. I wrapped them a little bit so that, you know, some of that heat dissipation in the hot V of the engine won't be cooking everything. But for example, this car, I do not plan to do muffler deletes. This car sounds good as it is, and for, like, you know, dailying purposes. But because this is the fun weekend car that you know, take for a rip every now and then, you definitely want to get the full experience. And I won't be surprised if it gains a little bit of performance with even less restriction on the turbos. There's my wife. I think she got that. You can probably hear, even with the windows open, the exhaust is not crazy. Like, it has some sound, but I want that, like, burble. I want that turbo whistle, you know? And that's what we're going for. So stay tuned. In this video, we're going to chop off the mufflers. We'll probably start the car with the mufflers chopped off, see what it sounds like, and then throw on the tips and the deletes and see if it changes the sound at all. I doubt it, but again, that's my goal. Again, I'm just trying to get an idea of how I'm gonna miss these tips, because I always thought these look really good. They match the styling of the car. So we'll see, right? We'll see how much they poke out, because these are not crazy aggressive, but they stick out just enough to give it that aggressive look. You know how they say you bought the wrong car if you don't enjoy looking at it, or when you're walking away. Sometimes you park far to keep it maybe safe from getting hit or something, or dinged, but it is fun to walk up to your car and be like, man, that thing looks good. All right, let's get the back of it up in the air and hack off the old mufflers. Well, not hack off, cut them off carefully, because I do have pretty much these clamps. These are, for example, 3-inch. If you ever want to put back the stockies, you can, and clamp them down and you should be okay. It's nice to be able to reverse mods if you need to. Overall, that's pretty smooth, but the dual clutch doesn't really work like a torque converter, so as soon as it sees uphill, it kind of gives up and rolls back down. So I didn't want to overshoot it, thus my kind of... Nicely, the cut, we should be able to make it like right here using our exhaust cutters, and don't even need to remove anything. So here are the like M5 mufflers. They're pretty free flowing, and my exhaust flap, the second one, is zip tied open. So they're both open. I've always really liked these tips, but they are definitely not 3.5 inch. You know, if I can, I might reuse these tips on the X5, as long as they fit on like the factory tips. If I can just put these on top of those, that would look sweet, you know, kind of get a benefit out of them, because they won't fit on the new exhaust. Again, on the new exhaust, I might paint it black because it just looks so cool. But here we go. So here's the old look, and we're gonna start working on it. I'm gonna mock up where the new pieces go. Let's figure out which side goes where. And then we'll just mock up a cut. So of course, I want to cut the exhaust existing piping as deep in here as I can to mitigate leaks. You know, exhaust leaks are the worst. So we kind of want it to be like right there. And so I'm gonna kind of mock it up where these hangers will be. And then we're gonna mock up where to cut so that this will slip fit joint on it really nicely. There are two very tiny dimples on the exhausts, and what do you know, right here, and what do you know, they line up pretty much perfect with where you should be cutting to fit the new slip joint. And then again, if you ever want this back, you'll just put this back. Yeah, it'll have a cut, but you'll put a nice 3-inch clamp and you can still run your factory exhaust. So presumably I'll hold on to these for at least for a little while and see if we want to keep them or not. All right, so we measured it up. Essentially, the tip of the exhaust hits the dimple. So I need to be preferably 2 inches further in. If I can't, because like a bend starts or something, I should be like 1.5 inches at the shortest. I think 2 inches is good. Again, we're gonna try to mitigate any kind of leaks. Don't want leaks. Pretty much. So while these cuts are in progress, I wanted to comment about something. A lot of people on these Beamers have the active exhaust using a vacuum line from either the vacuum pump or the turbos on the front engine. Some people will unplug these like so and just let it hang. That's not good. You're gonna lose boost pressure whenever your turbo needs to come on. So you wanna plug that. I usually use like these nice plastic pieces. Make sure, you know, it's big enough, long enough, and then zip tie it on there. So this is off of like some kind of aftermarket clamp, or, you know, so you see that? I'm just gonna one-handed push it all the way in there and zip tie the end and kind of hide it away from the new exhaust so it doesn't melt the plastic. Very important. Man, that's some thick steel on those, but they are hacked off. I wanted to wait to install the new ones to hear the sound, but I just want to hear the sound now. Here goes something. Ready? Scale to see the weight difference between the factory muffler, and then the muffler delete. Thanks for the scale, honey. Let's check if it works with just me. 197, 199.7. I'm not 200, so I feel good about myself. Okay, so with the factory one, and I've taken off the hangers, pretty much 214.2, so it's about 15 pounds factory muffler. You know, it's got some weight to it. Put that in that box. And now let's check the new delete with the hangers. Probably like a couple pounds. 205. 5 pounds pretty much, maybe 6 or 7 with the hangers. Weight reduction, baby. It works. Ah, we can't forget the tips. Let's see how much the tips are. Tips are another 4 pounds. Still, you're like 5 to 10 pounds lighter per side. Not bad. But I did it once. Should be able to do it again. How's the fitment? Let's see this. I would like it as tight on there as possible. Let's kind of mock it up. So I see no cracks of exhaust. That's very good. We don't want any leakage. Super initial test fit. I haven't pulled them out or anything yet, so of course all of that will be positioned, you know, to poke a tiny bit. But so far, looks promising. I'm probably gonna align these to at least stick out to the diffuser, at least the top portions of these tips. I don't know how I feel about the chrome, and as I thought initially, you know, maybe eventually we'll get them blacked out. Okay, so I'm shooting for this kind of middle of the road where the left one pokes out slightly and the right one starts to poke maybe midway. And so this should look pretty good. I think it's a medium look. There is a way to poke it out slightly more, but again, I want it to look nice and mild. I've seen, you know, exhaust tips that stick out a lot. My previous ones definitely stuck out more, but it's kind of like people like to show off those M logos. This one, I don't really care for everyone to know that I have a Turner Motorsports exhaust. That's why we'll see even down the road, if I want, I can shift it in slightly more so, you know, your Turner logo is not seen and it's more low key. So maybe the chrome look will grow on me, but essentially I'd love to black these out eventually. Let's do the other side and try to match it. The fitment here was really good. This one seemed to be a little high, so I'm gonna have to bend maybe the very last hanger right under the bumper to make it go a little bit lower. All right, guys, it's the moment of truth. My first initial alignment and setup of the exhaust tips. I'm gonna redo it most likely in the future once we heat cycle a bit, but I'm excited, as you are, to get an official cold start. And then we're gonna go for a rip to grab some lunch because I'm getting hungry. You ready? Sounds pretty good. I'm gonna let her warm up a bit and then I'll drive it off of here. Actually, let me warm it up. Let it heat cycle. I might adjust the tips a tiny bit. pretty good. Now that I'm looking at it from like outside, they look pretty great in chrome. I know I need to adjust that one. The right one is a little bit low, so I need to twist it slightly to the left, but that's about it. Let's see if it's even on both ends. Pretty even. First drive, already pulling out of the driveway feels rowdier. Menace to society. Let's see if I can give a little. Let the wifey know what I just did to the car. It's just better. There's just more of what there was, I would say. I love it. Just more of it. I usually don't annoy my HOA neighborhood because they're pretty gracious with me as it is, with all the noisy cars I have coming in my house. So we're gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up once we hit the road. Hopefully I don't lose an exhaust tip or something, but I did crank down on everything really good. You know, thermal expansion and everything needs to get broken in. And then I'll readjust the tips and we will be perfect. So let's drive like in auto mode, just normal. Nice, super smooth. I'll close the windows, but I have the roof open. So I also forget if I have like the aggressive tune on the car right now with the burbles from BM3 or just the regular. I took off the aggressive because I knew that I have mufflers and it's kind of not great. You're getting all those explosions in the exhaust. And so, you know, we're gonna flash back the aggressive tune and see if we can get a little AK-47 tune in here. So let me open it up in third a little. Oh yeah, it's just more of everything that I've had. I like it. Just more sound, more flow. We'll try everything closed. See what it sounds like in here. I know a lot of people say that this you know, muffler deletes can give you drone. I see what they mean now. Like there's a little bit right under 2000. Like I could just hear but it's not like an inline 6 Beamer where it's just like extremely unbearable and unenjoyable. Like it's a V8 back there. And it's got the nice little shifts. Bang. It's got a little pop. Oh yeah. Love it. Hope I didn't leave anything on the roof. Trying to toss itself and the traction's like, no, don't do that. This is all in comfort mode to add. You know, for like a stock piping, because the midsection still has kind of like this narrow section where it's like the factory X pipe. A lot of people cut that out as well and install like an aftermarket X pipe, which flows better. And so people say it also opens up the sound, and I can see what that means. Like it's much better now than stock, but I can see where it could flow even deeper in terms of the exhaust note. I get both induction and exhaust note, and I like it. It's like a still very nice and livable. It's interesting how turbos on a V8 really quiet it down. Now, like on a D-cell, you hear a bit of that drone. Third gear. So when you put in Sport Plus, it has this really cool off-throttle kind of overrun brab that it does. Yeah, it's like I'm like a kid. Got my toy. That's all I need. Now I gotta go find somebody to terrorize. What's up? You wanna go? Let's see if anything has moved or shifted or kind of thwarted. No, I mean, pretty good. Again, the only pickiness I have is maybe lifting the right side a tiny bit, but I don't know if you're ever gonna get it perfect on an aftermarket exhaust. I can tell just the left side is a little bit higher, and so I'll just work to match the two, but that's about it. This is a deja vu from earlier in this video. So yeah, that chrome definitely glistens to me from half a mile away. I definitely want to black it out. It looks pretty good, like from a side profile, how it sticks out and stuff, but I think it just doesn't really work with all the carbon and black. So we're gonna work on that. There's more whistle, definitely. I can also hear my wastegate rattle a little bit more. It was there previously, and we know Beamers and their wastegate rattles are just a thing. Feels really good, just cruising, fifth. Like, as soon as you're at 2K or above and off throttle, the burbly. Just looking for a space to do like a nice little smooth run. Just give a little pop on downshift. Love it. So again, let's try just sport mode. I want to see what the middle ground between Sport Plus and Comfort is. So here it goes. Just as good. It's like, it is a middle ground. Comfort, it takes a second to spool up. Sport, it spools up briskly. Sport Sharp, you tap the throttle, it's like Happy 4th of July, after all, to everyone. Hope you enjoy your freedoms, your cars, and hopefully we continue to enjoy our freedoms with our internal combustion engines. You know, most of us gearheads really don't want to be driving the electric scooters, so to speak, in the next 10 years. Okay, here's another second gear. No complaints. If you're on the fence and you want more awesomeness, get a Turner muffler delete. Fitment, I'm still working on it, but it's not bad. It's not like eBay, Amazon, definitely not. I've been there before. Tone it down, brother. All right, here we are day after. Just looking to adjust this one slightly higher for this tip compared to the other tip. It's just you kind of see it, your eye catches it. That's interesting, because it would seem like the gap here, yeah, here it's a tiny bit smaller. Yeah, I mean, this looks better. Hopefully. The camera, I could spot it in the video as well. Everyone does say that aftermarket will never be as precise as OEM, but I think it just takes some time and effort to get it there. Pretty tight. Let's just double check our other side. Turner muffler delete. Pretty affordable. I think overall about 500 bucks. You get some better sound, better flow, pretty cool tips. The only regret I had is they discontinued the black tips, which I wanted, but you can always do that on your own. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace out.